Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to discuss about the Middle English literature. With me, Maria Zakia Alfisuma. This is the timeline of the periodizations of English literature. Last week we have already learned about Old English literature, and today we are going to learn about Middle English literature. What we are going to learn in this period, we are going to learn the historical background and the literary development in the year of 1060s up to 15th century. First of all, let's begin with the historical background. Here, the first here, King Alfred from Wessex. This one is the Anglo-Saxon king that ruled England in the Old English era. And then now, after the death of the King Alfred, it's continued by after the death of King Edward, there is no successor, so that the board decided Harold of Wessex to replace the positions of King Edward. However, some of the family of Edward, they disagree with these decisions. For example, like King Harald Hardrada from Norwegian king, and then William from Normandy, yeah, Duke of Normandy. And then this kind of disagreement result on the attack of Norwegian king at 1066, and also William the Duke of the Normandy, also gave an attack to the King Harold. And this kind of attack is called as the Battle of Hastings. In this Battle of Hastings, the victory taken by William, so that William is called as William the Conqueror. See, he replaced the positions of Harold of Wessex, because at this time of war, Harold died in the war. So in the rule of King William, England had a new king from France. Yeah, so this had a contributions on the political and then social background of England at this time. In this time of the rule of King William or William I, the social class is divided into several layers. In the top positions here is the king and the pope or people from the church, and then the next the nobleman, and then the knight, and then for the peasants or the working class, here in the lower layer of the society. And for the people in the top layers here, they usually speak French as the official language and the daily conversations. However, for the working class, they speak Anglo-Saxons or Middle English at the time. After the several wars during in England, for example, like Crusades, Crusades, 100 years of war, this kind of evidence include the Black Death. They increase the dominance of English. People began to aware about their love to English as their national language. Crusades and pilgrimage here contribute to the increase in communications and formations of common language or vernacular language, which is spoken by the common people. In 1362, English became official language of legal proceeding. Everyone in England spoke English by the end of 14th century, displacing French language. And then after the printer's activity, at 1474, this is also increased the literacies of people in this time. And it increased in English in writing, more common in legal document than French or Latin by the end of the 15th century. Here, I would like to give you the table The table contains of the poems, prose, and drama published or written in the Middle English literature. For example, like in the poems, the first is by William Langlatt, Piers Plowman. This is an alliterative allegorical poetry with religious themes. Yeah, has a theme of has a religion theme. And then the next, Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. Yeah, this is another poems. This is masterpiece of this era, Canterbury Tales. And then for the folk ballads, for the William Langlatt and Chaucer's, they are written in the written versions. It means that we know the authors clearly. However, for the folk ballads here and metrical romance, they are they are spoken or oral literature. Yeah, for folk ballads, they usually sung by minstrel, popular in Anglo-Saxon society, peasants or working class. For folk ballads, they are popular in the working class or the lower society. The language used here to sing these poems, they used Middle English. However, for the metrical romance here, they use French or Latin. Yeah, and then Robin Hood is one of the example of the folk ballads, and for the metrical romance, the example is the hero from France, for example, Chanson de Roland, and then the hero from the hero from England, King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and then the Rome hero, Alexander the Great. Yeah, so this is for the um upper class here. They talked about knights and the romance among the knights, the romance that live in the life of the knight. Okay, for the prose mostly talk about Bible translations, and then from Geoffrey Monmouth, the Historia Regum Britanniae. Okay, and then for the drama, miracle and morality plays. Yeah, the story taken from Bible drama showed in the holiday of Christians. For example, the drama which is showed in the Christmas or Easter day, and then in the morality plays, the moral lesson here taught in this drama performance. So we get the morality, we get the moral lessons after watching the drama. Okay, to summarize the characteristic of the Middle English literature, they are, for example, like folk ballads, they are anonymity. It means that we don't know who are the authors of that, because that kinds of the literature is oral literature. So the first characteristic is anonymity. And then the second one, religion. Religion becoming the common theme or topic in the Middle English literature. This one because religion was an important element in the social life. Many works has a theme based on religion. For example, the masterpiece of Canterbury Tales. Romance. Romance is a symbolic narrative written in prose or verse which deals with a loyalty, a courtly love, and heroic deeds of a knight. For example, like the metrical romance of King Arthur. And then allegory, a story with purpose of teaching a moral lessons. Example, Piers Plowman. And then irony, for example, Canterbury Tales, satirizes how members of the estates, particularly those of the church, fail to meet their duties. So, several stories in the Canterbury Tales has a theme of irony or satire. This one is the picture of Geoffrey Chaucer's, the one who writes Canterbury Tales. He is called as the father of English poetry. He has an occupation as a businessman, government official, traveler, soldier, scholar, poet. Those kind of occupations make him able to write masterpieces of Canterbury Tales. The tales has contributions in the meter, iambic pentameter, and rhyming pairs of the lines in verse couplets. Yeah. So there's one that make Middle English poems different from Old English poem. This is about the meter and the rhymes. Yeah. There is an iambic pentameter and then heroic couplets here. Because these tales or this poem use vernacular language or Middle English language, uh, so this language make English becoming popular, replace the positions of French and Latin. And about the setting and characters, they are so realistic. Why? Because those are the pilgrimage itself. Uh, is the depictions of the life and values of people in medieval 14th century of England. No longer does literature only present the lives of kings and warriors. So the real depictions of the class society is here in the Katampurit. This is the examples of the poems taken from prologue of Katampurit Tales. Look at in the end of the line here, the first line has the same the end of the lines here is rhyming. Yeah, the rhyming is a. Yeah? This is a heroic couplet, and then r and also r, also the same. Yeah, two lines that has the same rhyme. Okay, this one is also the same. A B B C C. Yeah, this one. Uh, so alliteration is no longer becoming the characteristic of the poem. Okay, Katamburi Tales is a frame story, a story within a story. The outer frame of the story is about the pilgrims. This is talking about the pilgrims meeting at the inn, preparing for a journey to Katamburi. The narrator introduces each pilgrim and gives a brief background to pass the time. The host gives a challenge to each pilgrims to tell a story. And the inner frame story, all 24 verses, stories told by the pilgrims along their journey to and from Katamburi. This one, the Katamburi. And this one, all of the pilgrims are depicted here. Okay, literature is the reflections of its age. The characters in this work, 24 tales, are from all classes, peasants to noblemen, and everyone in between. This one, the picture of the classes. From the nobleman, from the king here to the working class. For example, the ruling class. The ruling class is depicted by the story of the Knight's Tale. And then for the pardoner, the men's of Low's Tale, the depictions of the clergy's tale. And then for the last, the peasants, is the depictions of the plowman tales, the miller tales. Okay, those are the explanations of the Middle English literature. And before I before the end of this slide, I would like you to leave a comment to answer one of these questions. The first, what have you learned from the Middle English literature? The second, what is the differences between Old English literature and Middle English literature? And the last, from all literary works in Middle period, which one you have read and which one do you want to read? Okay, thank you very much for your attentions and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.